I am super excited, friends. It is finally time to talk about my favorite piece of stage management paperwork. My name is Kent, and this is your half-hour call.
Attention cast and crew, this is your half-hour call. Half hour to the top of the show. Half hour.
Alrighty, friends, we are back with yet another episode of the Almost Complete Guide to Stage Management. Today, we are talking about entrance-exit breakdowns and wardrobe or costume plots, which are pretty much the same document. I'm also going to share with you my top 3 Excel life hacks, so stick around to the end of the video. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kent, and you are watching Half Hour Call, where we shine the spotlight on technical theater. So if you like how-to videos, interviews with industry leaders, or general theater updates, make sure you hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss another video. But what is an entrance-exit breakdown? An entrance-exit breakdown is a document that tells you where actors enter and exit for each scene that they're in, as well as which character they're playing if they play multiple characters, and eventually what costume they're wearing, how long their quick changes are, and where those quick changes take place. If created correctly, this one document will have information that is helpful for lighting designers, spotlight operators, sound designers, audio mixers, costume designers, wardrobe supervisors, and dressers, all in one document. Spot Ops and Sound can find which actors are going to enter in which scenes and from which entrances, and then Wardrobe can find which actors are going to exit in which scenes, how much time they have for quick changes, and where they need to re-enter. It's a lot of information in a single document, so let's dive right in. This is one document that's probably best to make in Excel, and if you started a French scene breakdown during prep week, you're already halfway there. Take your French scene breakdown and add 2 additional rows for each actor. The top line is going to be their entrance location, the middle line is going to be their costume or their character if they play multiple characters, and the bottom line is going to be their exit location. This is where that common vocabulary for entrances and exits will come in super handy. Also, up in the heading underneath scene number and scene name, I like to add 2 rows for timings. The top row is the run time where the scene starts, and the bottom row is the length of that scene. Fill in where the actors enter and exit, and if they play multiple characters, which character they're playing in each scene, and then add your timings, and boom, you've created an entrance-exit breakdown. Turning this entrance-exit breakdown into a costume plot is super easy as well. Once you know who is wearing what in which scene, you can add an identifier of 2 to 3 words into each middle box where they are wearing that specific look. Then identify when actors change costumes, and you can use the timings, entrance, and exit information to determine where that costume change should take place. Every theater and every costume change is going to be different, and you can lean heavily on your wardrobe supervisor to help you make those determinations. However, here are a few of my rules of thumb that you can use as a starting point for those conversations. Any costume change that has over 5 minutes can probably happen in a dressing room. Any costume change under 1.5 minutes is something that I would bring up in a production meeting to start a conversation. And then anything from 1.5 minutes to 5 minutes is a little bit more fluid. Do they need help? Could that just be preset in a wing? Do they have time to go all the way back to the dressing room and do the change there? How complicated is the outfit? These are all questions that you can ask the wardrobe supervisor and really rely on their expertise. If a costume change is not happening in a dressing room, having it take place as near to the actor's next entrance as possible will cut down on the number of missed cues, even if there happens to be a minor wardrobe malfunction. And bam, you just created a costume plot. It really is that simple. Here are some things to keep in mind. To keep it legible, this document can get pretty big pretty quickly. It usually prints best on an 11x17 or ledger piece of paper. While it can and probably should start as a single spreadsheet, don't be afraid to break it down into smaller, more manageable chunks that will be easier to print and easier to read. Large cast shows may need to be split up into multiple pieces of paper for the different actors, and long shows may need a single page for each act, or sometimes you need both. This is an example of a costume breakdown for the Sacramento Theater Company's remount of A Christmas Carol that I worked on last year. I needed 2 separate sheets, one for the youth ensemble and one for the adult actors. This is the easiest way to break it down for this show since the number of adults and kids were pretty well balanced. Alright friends, since you made it this far into the video, I'm going to share with you my top 3 life hacks for making entrance-exit breakdowns in Excel. Number 1, automate the timings. Use the format cells function to change the rows for timings so that each cell is a time. The selection that I choose on my version of Excel looks like this. As you stage and rehearse scenes out of sequence, whenever you run through an individual scene, go ahead and take a timing for that and add it to the scene length row. Pro tip, depending on how you format the cells, you may need to add a 0 for the hour in order for this to work. Use the simple formula equals previous scene runtime plus previous scene length to have the spreadsheet automatically calculate the cumulative runtime for each scene. But Kent, what if I need to update the timings in the middle of a full run-through? Simply pull out your phone and time it that way using the lap function for each scene. Then at the end of the run, you can cross-reference each lap with your scene length and make really specific edits to the total runtime in that fashion. You can also automate the calculation of the timings for each costume change. Once you establish where costume changes occur, you can use the formula equals runtime of next entrance minus runtime of the scene where the costume change begins in order to automate this calculation as well. Life hack number 2, conditional formatting. You can use conditional formatting to automatically identify quick changes that need your attention. Simply select everything in the spreadsheet except for the headings and create a new rule where if the cell contains, say, less than or equal to 2 minutes, change the text to be red and bold. This way, since all of your timings are automated, if a scene gets cut or pacing speeds up, you'll be warned if scenes are approaching a quick change, so you can bring it up with the wardrobe supervisor and give it the extra attention that it might need. Life hack number 3, print selection. Printing Excel spreadsheets are often a skill all on their own. If you're separating acts into individual pages, you can simply select the cells for the act that you want, go to print, hit print selection, and then scale to 1 page, or the scaling method of your choice, hit print, and you're good to go. Excel will then only print the cells that you've selected, so you can leave the actual document in a single spreadsheet, making it much easier to edit, while still being able to print individual acts with relative ease. And congratulations, my friend, you have just made an entrance-exit breakdown and a costume plot. Down in the description below, there are links to both PDF and Excel versions of that spreadsheet so that you can play around with the conditional formatting and the timing automations if you would like. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give me a big thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm because it helps me out so much. And down in the comments below, let me know about the most complicated entrance-exit breakdown you've ever made. Thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. My name is Kent, and this has been your half-hour call.
This snazzy feathered production assistant, as well as other cool stage management merchandise, is now available at kentjamescollins.com/store. Link in the description below.